Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a full face of drugstore and affordable makeup for summertime. It has gotten really warm outside where I live and I feel like summer is here. So I wanted to share some of my favorite go-to products during the hot summer days or just when I want more of a long-lasting, long-wearing makeup look. So I have a bunch of products that I love that I use all the time, as well as some new products I'm going to be testing out as well. I thought I would throw them all into one video. So I'll share some recommendations and then also test out a couple of things I haven't used before. So I already applied my SPF. I've been using this one like every single day. It's not a drugstore brand. I guess I could have used a drugstore one in today's video, but it is more of like a drugstore price product. You can get it at Amazon or at Yes Style. It's from Heimish. It's the Artless Glow Base. It is a K-beauty brand, which I've been enjoying so much. Just K-beauty in general, but I love this SPF because it has like a very smooth feel and it leaves your skin looking glowy without being over the top. By the way, I mentioned in my May favorites video that I got an IPL facial done at the end of April. So if my skin looks different, that's why. It basically targets like dark spots, sun damage, redness, acne scarring, like everything that I was dealing with. But I love the results. I got such good results and I only did one treatment. I was reading online that sometimes you have to do like multiple treatments, but they kind of turn the intensity up for me. And I'm just really happy with it. I might go back in like the fall and do like my neck and my chest and maybe like a few other spots, but I've had a really great result so far. Okay, I'm going to start with this product from Essence. It's called What a Tint. It's a lip and cheek tint. I'm only going to use it on my lips today. I have heard some people say they don't love this on the cheeks. If you've tried this out, I would love to know what you think. But I feel like a product like this is something that I'm really curious to have or really curious to try for the lips because it's been forever since I've tried something like this. So this is basically supposed to be like Benefit's Benetint and give you a really pretty stain. I'm just going to try it on the lips today and see what kind of stain it gives. Ooh, it has a little bit of like a cherry or fruity scent to it, and it's going on nicely. Okay, it definitely has a little bit of a taste as well. I accidentally got it in my mouth just because it is such a watery product and it doesn't taste good, but it looks pretty. It definitely tints the lips in a really natural way. I wonder if you could build it up. I feel like I should add a little bit more just to see. But I don't have super pigmented lips, so sometimes I want like something without it being like a full-on gloss or a lipstick, and I've kind of been getting more into lip stains lately. It's really pretty. I think it would be nice with a gloss on top as well, which I might add in a little while, but I'm just curious to know how this actually lasts on the lips, if it feels dry, so I thought today would be a good time to test it out. And again, I will try it on the cheeks later on, just probably not today because I don't know that it will go with my makeup look because of the products I picked out. For primer, I am just going to be using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This one has 4% niacinamide in it. For the summertime or just really on any day where I want like a true long-lasting makeup look, I always use this product. I was using it during the winter time and I like it because it definitely has like a nice hydrating feel to it. But I also think it's really nice during the warm summer days as well because even though it is hydrating, it locks my makeup into place. For foundation, I pulled out an older favorite to use, but this is something I love using during the summertime specifically. It's from Catrice. It's the HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It says right on the bottle, it's mattifying, water and smut proof, and then it also has niacinamide. I know they recently kind of redid this. They improved it a little bit, and I don't know all of the changes they made, but I think the added niacinamide is new. I have the shade Light Beige. If you watch my videos, you might know that I am a big fan of their other foundation, the True Skin Foundation. But I do think this one is more lightweight and more mattifying. The True Skin Foundation is kind of marketed as a hydrating foundation. I don't know that it really is the most hydrating foundation compared to some other formulas I've tried. It is more hydrating than this one. So if you have oily skin or you want like that true long-lasting finish during the summertime, this one might be more ideal for you compared to the True Skin. My skin has been breaking out a little bit over the past few weeks, so I feel like I do have just some dark spots left over from some previous breakouts. And like I said, this foundation has really good coverage, but it is really lightweight. So it's not a really heavy full coverage foundation. You get the coverage, but it is so light and it blends into the skin very quickly. Okay, so I think that is a pretty good shade match for me. It might be slightly yellowy. I feel like a lot of my foundations lean just a little bit too yellowy, which does match like my neck and my chest, but I've kind of been going more neutral with my foundations lately because the rest of my body isn't quite as like yellow toned as my neck and my chest, but I think that looks good. There are two concealers I've really been loving, both of which I think are great options for the summertime. If you want something a little bit more mattifying, then I would go with the Makeup Revolution IRL filter. This one is very lightweight, it blends out nicely, and it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything on the skin. Like it's very undetectable feeling, but it looks really smooth and pretty. I also love the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Concealer. This one's more hydrating and a little bit creamier. So if you have dry under eyes or you still want that hydration even in the summertime, this one's great, but I find that they're both long wearing. I think I'll use the Flower Beauty one today just because I don't know that I've used this in a Get Ready With Me since I've been talking about it a lot lately. I used it on Instagram, but I don't think I used it on YouTube. So I'm just going to kind of focus this in the center of my face. So I have the shade Vanilla, and then I'm going to blend that out. Actually, let me just put a little bit down here as well to make sure everything matches. So I'm just going to blend this one in. I feel like this is the perfect shade for me because it's a little bit lighter, so it adds like a nice touch of brightness without being too over the top. So I'm just going to focus this under my eyes. Now this concealer will crease on me, as will any concealer if I don't set it, but once I set it, it does stay in place really, really well. Actually, let me go grab my little puff that I use to set my under eyes. I've been using that instead of a brush lately. So for powder, I've been loving this one again. It's the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. It's very, very mattifying, so I think it is perfect for those hot summer days, but it's also really smoothing, and I feel like it just locks whatever you're wearing in place so, so well. So I will use this under the eyes to set my concealer into place, but I'll also use it to set the rest of my foundation as well. This one feels a little bit heavier than the other one I'm going to recommend in a second, but I find that if you use a small amount or use like a large fluffy brush, you still get that smooth mattified look without a little bit of like a heavier or cakey feel. If you really pack this on, like if you were to use this little puff all over your face, I do feel like you'll feel the powders. So that's why I only use this under my eyes. But if you want a lighter weight option, I do love the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is such a gorgeous powder. It's very lightweight. It really blurs the skin. My only issue with this is that it's just slightly darker than my skin tone. So it does end up making me look a little bit orangey. So I don't typically pack this on under the eyes. I might use like a large fluffy brush and just dust it all over my face to set everything into place. But the ColourPop powder does come in quite a few shades. So I do think it is more ideal if you're looking for one that really matches your skin tone. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this on the puff and kind of press it into the back of my hand to make sure the powder is worked in, and then just use it to set my under eye concealer. And again, it just provides like that nice, smooth, even finish. So it's perfect for long days because your concealer will not move. You can just immediately see the difference. Like this side is very smooth, really mattified. This side definitely still has the glow to it, which is pretty. I love the way it looks, but when you have oily skin, well, at least in my experience, that just won't last if it's really hot outside. It's a gorgeous concealer. And during the colder months, I could get away with a little bit less powder, but not when it's like 80 degrees plus outside. I'm just going to use this to set between my brows as well, anywhere where I'm prone to really obvious creasing. So for me, it's just like under my eyes, between my brows, and then right here as well. And then I'm just going to set the nose as well because my nose gets so oily. Probably by the end of this video, it will already look pretty oily. Before I move on to the next step, I think I am going to throw on a little bit of a gloss. These are new from Catrice. They're the Lip Jams, which these are really, really cute. They're hydrating lip glosses. I have two. So I have your One in a Melon, which I'm assuming is like a watermelon scent, and then also a Little Peach of Heaven, which I assume is a peachy scent. Which one should I go with? Let's go with the watermelon one. The stain is not uncomfortable at all. Like it doesn't feel drying, although I haven't had it on for very long. But I also wanted to try out this gloss formula to see what it's like. It has a little bit of a scent, but it's not too over the top. I think the actual formula, yeah, the formula is pretty sheer. In fact, I think maybe it's almost clear. Yeah, it looks like a clear gloss. Is the other one clear too? It feels really nice. Like there's definitely a little bit of like a cushiony feel to it. So they're both clear. I know there are a couple of other shades as well. Smells good. It feels really good too. Actually, that combo looks so, so pretty together. And what an affordable combo. Like the Essence lip stain with the Catrice gloss on top. I like it. I'm going to apply bronzer in just a second, but I just want to apply some brow gel. This is the NYX Thick It Stick It. I have the shade Espresso. So I've kind of gone back to using this. For a little while, I was just using the Glossier Boy Brow, which I do like. I think that one's really nice, but I don't know. I think the NYX brow gel just holds my brows into place a little bit better. This is a new one, so I'm just trying not to go overboard. I feel like my other one got to the point where it was perfect because it was like almost all the way dried out. This side's a little bit trickier because this is not my good brow. So I will go in and kind of touch them up just a little bit once it has the chance to dry, but I will apply some bronzer in the meantime. So I actually have two bronzers. So for bronzer, there are two formulas I'm really loving right now. The Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer, which surprised me because I've loved this so much ever since I launched it, but I really didn't think it would be great during the summertime. I thought it would just like melt off my skin because it has such a nice dewy glowy finish to it. I mean, you can even tell in the pan. But because I set everything into place with powder, it does wear well throughout the day. And it's just so quick and easy. Like you can apply it and blend it in seconds. But I also love the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzers. These are perfect if you want a glow. They do have like a dewy base, but there's also just like a very finely milled shimmer mixed in. Like they don't look shimmery on the skin, they just look glowy. But I do think like when you swatch them or look really up close, you can see a little bit of shimmer mixed in. So these are great too. They're a little bit more natural on the skin, so you don't get like as intense color payoff. You don't, the color payoff is not as intense as it is with the Makeup Revolution bronzer. But they're both great. I think I'll use the, ooh, I got way too much on that brush. This is what happens when I'm talking and I'm doing my makeup. I'll use the Makeup Revolution one today just because I do find that I reach for this one maybe a little bit more. It's a very pigmented bronzer, so you really just need like a very small amount. I don't know why I went in with so much. But again, because it is very blendable, I mean, it blends out in seconds. And then I always just take my foundation brush and literally just go over the edges to make sure that it's not too harsh. I'm very much still on a cream bronzer kick. Even though it is a little bit warmer outside, I still haven't been reaching for a lot of powder bronzers because I just think cream bronzer looks so smooth and even. For blush, I have a few options. I think I am going to use a little bit of the Profusion Blush Hour Soft Matte Liquid Blush. This one is in the shade Bellini. I am doing a little bit more of a neutral look on the eyes today. So this one is perfect. I usually just kind of do that to the back of my hand. And then where did my blush brush go? This one is from Profusion as well. It's the angled powder brush. So I usually just apply it to the back of my hand and then stipple it on my cheeks. This is such a good option if you are looking for an affordable liquid blush. Rare Beauty blushes are gorgeous. It's definitely one of my favorite formulas, but it's a little bit more expensive, and the Profusion blush is maybe, I want to say like $5. I'm just going in with a small amount. I might actually go over it a little bit with a powder blush, but I feel like this one just goes well with my eyeshadow look. Not that I have any eyeshadow on yet, but the eyeshadow look I have in mind. So now I'm just going to set everything into place with a little bit of the ColourPop powder. Not a lot because again, I don't want like that heavy or cakey feel, but I do want my products to last. So I'm just going over with a very light layer just to mattify everything and lock it into place. Again, I like that this powder has like a little bit of color to it because you know, you can go overboard with your cheek products and then just go over them with the powder. And I feel like it just diffuses everything and kind of softens all of the edges and melts it all together. So there are no harsh lines. My camera cut out while I was filling in my brows, but that is it for the face. I'm just going in with a little bit of the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen just to kind of darken up my brows, define them a little bit more. Okay, eyebrows are a little bit more intense than I was intending. My eyebrow pen was leaking, so I feel like I applied too much product, but I'm just going to go with it. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to try out one of these palettes. These are from Catrice. I'm pretty sure they're like $6, super affordable. We'll see how they perform. I feel like Catrice has improved their eyeshadow formula so much over the last few years. So I have the Pure Nude palette, and then I also have the Hot Mocha palette. I think I want to use this one. This one just feels like the perfect summery, kind of like sultry, smoky palette. You can do something a little bit softer or a little bit more smoky toned. I don't know. We'll just play around with it and see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to start with this shadow right here. Okay, this is already going on so nicely. Such a silky, smooth shadow. Like I said, Catrice has improved their eyeshadow formula so much. I think it was like back in 2019 or 2020. I remember doing a tag video that was going around on YouTube, and I said the worst eyeshadow formula at the drugstore was Catrice or Essence, and I feel like they've both come such a long way. Essence has those like 6-pan palettes that are so good, and then Catrice has those 5-pan palettes that look kind of similar to Natasha Denona. I think I'm going to end up going in with a little bit of this warm toned orangey one next. I'll do the other eye off camera just to save some time. Okay, let's take a little bit of that warm toned orangey shadow. I don't want to take too much because I don't want like a full-on orange look today. I just want to do something a little bit softer, more natural. But wow, I am impressed by these shadows. They're going on nicely. They're definitely soft when you first apply them. So I would say it's a little bit more of a buildable formula, which I've definitely come to appreciate. I used to like full-on intense shadows. Like as soon as you dipped your brush in, you would get like the most intense pigmentation. And there is a time and place for those, but I feel like for me, day to day, I definitely prefer like a softer, more buildable formula that's not too over the top. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of this darker brown shadow and just build it up a little to see if we can get a slightly smokier look. It's a really gorgeous formula. If you've tried those mini 5-pan palettes, what are they called? Like the 5 in a box mini palettes. I think that's the actual name. It's definitely a different formula. That formula is very creamy, almost a little bit thicker, whereas this formula is very thin and it feels really silky. I guess I'm going a little bit more smoky than I originally intended. Should I use this shadow or this shadow on top? Let's go with this one, this like lighter bronzy tone. Again, very silky, really, really light. Oh, so pretty though. It has like a nice metallic sheen. I'm definitely impressed by the quality of this palette. I feel like this is like the perfect everyday formula because it is so light and it's easy to work with. Like everything just blends out nicely. I do have a little bit of patchiness here if you're new to my videos. Whatever the reason, like this area of my eye is always dry. So eyeshadow always looks patchy right there, no matter what. I'm just going to use this shadow to highlight the brow bone and just kind of pull it back down. I'm just using that darkest brown actually to kind of create a little bit more of a smoky lower lash line. I used to wear winged liner every single day and I do wear it sometimes. I don't know. I guess maybe like 60% of the time when I'm doing my makeup, I skip it, and then like 40% I wear it. I think I'll skip it today because I think the eyeshadow is like kind of smoky, kind of sultry without being over the top. But if I add liquid liner, that will take it to the next level. And I don't know that I want such drama today. I guess the lower lash line kind of adds a little bit of smokiness to it. I know some people feel very passionately about the fact that I should not add eyeshadow on the lower lash line. Some people say it like pulls everything down, but I cannot get on board with like the blank lower lash line trend. I know a lot of people do that, but to me, when I do that and I'm wearing eyeshadow and mascara on top and nothing on the bottom, it feels like my eye look is unfinished. Anyway, I'm going to brighten it up just a little bit with a product on the waterline. So these are from Milani. They're the Gilded eyeshadow sticks. I don't know if they just repackaged them or if they completely redid them, but I used to have a couple of these, or I still have a couple of these when they came in just like the traditional crayon type packaging, and now they're just kind of updated. So I'm just swatching a couple of the shades because I can't decide which color goes with my eyeshadow look. So I have Blossom, Rose, and then also Desert. So this one's Blossom, this one's Rose, and then this one's Desert. I think I'll go with the shade Desert just on the waterline. So in the past when I used these, because again, I don't know if they changed the formula or just updated the packaging. In the past when I used them, I thought they were great one and done shadows for all over the lid because they're very creamy, they blend out well, but I also love them on the waterline because they stay in place all day. So here they are on the back of my hand now that they've had the chance to dry down a little bit, and they're not going anywhere. They are locked into place. For mascara, I'm just using the Flower Beauty Dream Warrior Volumizing Mascara, which has been one of my favorite launches this year. I just did a video, I want to say a couple weeks ago, on my favorite drugstore makeup launches of 2023 so far. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it below. I did mention this mascara though. It looks so good on the lashes. It's like a very fluffy, fluttery mascara. So I think it does a good job at making your lashes look just like lifted and open. without being too clumpy or overly voluminous or dramatic. I used to like a super intense mascara, and I don't know, like sometimes these days I just like something a little bit softer, but you can also build this one up to look really dramatic, and it also makes your lashes look really long. So just a good all around mascara. I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade from the palette and use that to highlight the inner corner to finish off the look. I am going to add a little bit of this Essence blush. This one's in the shade Pretty Peach, just to add like a slight glow to the cheeks. Do I want to use this shade or do I want to use Rosy Rosewood? This one is Rosy Rosewood. This one is Pretty Peach. I guess I'll go with Pretty Peach. Again, just to add like a touch of brightness, a little bit of a glow, nothing too intense. I feel like this just kind of makes everything look a little bit prettier. These Essence blushes are also one of my favorites for summer. They're great all year round. They just give your skin a really pretty natural glow. But if you're someone who's not into cream blushes during the summertime, which I do love a good cream blush during the summer, and I also like wearing these over creams and liquids, but these are nice on their own too because they're so light, but still really glowy, really soft and pretty. So I am going to add a little bit of highlight. This is the Flower Beauty Spotlight Liquid Highlighter, and I have the shade Opal. So I'm just going to put some of this on the back of my hand, just a small amount, and then take a brush and kind of dab this on just lightly. I don't want anything too over the top, but I feel like, again, a liquid highlighter just looks so pretty. It melts into the skin in such a natural way and just gives you that gorgeous glow. And if you don't want anything too over the top, just apply it to the back of your hand. I feel like that's what I do with pretty much all of my creams and liquids. Or if I'm using a cream, I might like dip the brush in and then tap some off on the back of my hand. But you get the effect of a liquid without it being as intense as if you were to just apply it directly to the cheek. I'm just going to line my lips. This is the Catrice Plumping Lip Liner. I have the shade Understated Chic. I feel like it's just like a go-to nude for me. So I'm just going to use this to line my lips a little, fill them in slightly. I did remove that lip stain. There's like a little bit of color left over, but I'll wear it all day, just not today. I kind of wanted to test it out, but I feel like the color didn't really go with my look, so I want to wear a different lip color. And then I'm just going to take the Flower Beauty Plump Up Gloss Stick. This one is in the shade Toasty, and I'm just going to apply that right on top. I love these so, so much. I have this one, I have a red one, and then I also have a pink one, but they're perfect for summer. They're basically like glossy lip balms. They're not quite as thick as the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips. They're maybe a little bit closer to the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serums. They just have a really nice balmy feel to them, but also like the most perfect glossy sheen. Now that I'm looking at the final look, I don't know that I love this lip color with this eyeshadow look as much as I thought I would. I love this lip product, but I feel like maybe a slightly deeper lip. So I think I'll go with the NYX Fat Oil Lip Trip in the shade Status Update. So let me take this off. These NYX lip oils are also perfect for the summer because they're so yeah, this color's better. They're so glossy and so hydrating, which I guess would make them perfect for any time of the year. But during the summer, like sometimes you just want something comfortable that has really pretty shine. I might have actually gone with a little bit of a darker lip liner if I knew I was going to wear this originally, but I think it is such a gorgeous formula. I have these in here because I also love this formula for summer too. It's just so glossy, so hydrating, and I think it does stay in place pretty well for a lip gloss, which is really nice because even after a few hours, I'll have a little bit of color. It will still feel super hydrating on the lips, and I love this color because it's a little bit of a deeper nude. So I feel like if I am going for like a smokier eye like I have on today, this is perfect because it complements it so well. Okay, so this is the final look. Those are just a lot of my go-to products once the weather changes and it's hot and humid, but I still want really good, long-lasting makeup products. You can't go wrong with them. And then I did try out a few products as well. I'm really impressed with the eyeshadow palette. It looks gorgeous. I also really like that Milani eyeshadow crayon. What else did I try that was new? Oh, the Essence lip stain. I'll wear it for a full day, but I just kind of wanted to try it out today. So far, so good, but we'll see how long it actually lasts on another day. It just didn't go with the look that I'm wearing. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. If there's anything you want to see on my channel during the month of June, let me know in the comment section below so I can add it to my list, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.